So I was watching this news report, and it was about baby carrots. And have you ever heard about, like, don't ever eat baby carrots because, have any of you heard this? I can't believe you've been living under a rock. Okay, because they use this bleach solution to wash the baby carrots, and so I've had friends say, "Don't ever eat baby carrots," because they wash them in this like bleach and stuff, and so you shouldn't be eating these baby carrots. And, the sky's falling. Well, anyway, I was reading this news report this week that said, really, yes, they do wash it with this bleach in the water, but it's diluted so much it's the same as it's in your tap water here in Bellingham. That's how much bleach is in the water. And so this little bit of bleach, in moderation, is a really good thing. It's healthy for you. It's healthy. It makes the carrots healthier in a sense, right? But if you were to dump bleach in, it would be toxic. Well, it's kind of the same way with our helping thing. I mean, a little of something can be good in moderation. When there's balance, it's good. But if you go too far, it can be harmful. And the point is also true in terms of a wife following the Bible's instruction to help her husband and to submit to her husband, right? Doing this in moderation, really, really good. Awesome, builds a healthier marriage. But we can become, I think, too helpful or too submissive. And I've been personally convicted of this, so I'm sharing out of my own personal conviction that I think we can have the pendulum swing too far, and some nasty things happen as a result. So what happens if we go too far in becoming helpful or submissive? A couple of thoughts. Number one, our relationship becomes dysfunctional as we become codependent. And we'll talk about what that means a little bit later. We can also lose our sense of identity and self-worth. The third, we could become stressed out and exhausted. We become a perpetual victim in the relationship. And I'm sure I could go on and on, but another one is we feel hopeless and without joy. And the life just got sucked out of the room. Yes, okay.
I need to move from this table.
There are all these moans going on in the back there. I don't know that. Okay, but before we talk about that stuff, let's go back to what God's clear instruction is to wives. Genesis 2:18 again. God says, after creates man, he says, "It is not good for man to be alone. I will create a helper suitable for him." And that is us. So we are supposed to help our husbands. It's not like we're not supposed to help them. And we help them with respecting them, and we help them by encouraging them and appreciating them and sexually fulfilling their needs. I mean, there's all sorts of ways we help our husbands. Yes, that is good. Colossians 3:18 is another foundational verse. Wives, submit to your husbands as is fitting in the Lord. And we do that by asking our husbands to lead and to make major decisions and leaving room for them to lead instead of swooping in, as many of us like to do, and just taking control and making all the decisions. We leave room for them to lead. And we ask our husbands' opinion, and we display respect and honor. That's part of being submissive. But again, I think we can go too far with helping and submitting. Codependency is wrongly depending on someone else to meet your emotional needs instead of depending on God. For instance, you might strive to keep your husband happy so that you feel valuable or loved or secure. And that makes you a people pleaser. But God's the only one who can meet your emotional needs, and he's the only one we're supposed to be really focused on pleasing. Does that make sense? Galatians 1:10 is a great verse for this. I think I have it on your notes. Galatians 1:10, "For am I now seeking the approval of man or of God? Or am I trying to please man? If I were still trying to please man, I would not be a servant of Christ." Great codependency verse there. I mean, about not being codependent, that we're supposed to be pleasing God. That should be our focus. Now, along the way, as we're serving God, we're going to be pleasing our husbands too, hopefully, but that should not be our whole focus on pleasing our husband. It really all comes down to our motives. It really all comes down to our motives. Are you seeking to help your husband so that you get something out of it, like the feeling of being needed or valuable, or are you helping your husband simply to bless him and please God?